My name is Lou Lamoureux. I farm in Carroll County, which is northwest corner of Illinois. Farm in a partnership with my brother and his son and my son. Row crops that we have are corn and soybeans. We also grow some either wheat or rye, alfalfa hay. We've got several hundred acres of pasture that we run cows and calves on. Have a cow-calf herd of about 250 cows and finish somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 cattle a year. When we finish cattle, we finish with about a third corn gluten, and a third distiller's grains, as well as corn silage and ground hay. It seems to be working as well as for us as anything, and it gives us some corn to sell. So anyway, bought the farm, came back here, and expanded some. We bought some acreage since then and rented a couple more farms since then. I can't give you an exact number of total acres right now, but somewhere around 2,500, of which there's about 500 acres of pasture ground. I have one son farming with me, and my brother has one son farming. We both have 4 children. The other 3 are all elsewhere, and will probably never return to the farm. We aren't big on expansion as far as seeing how far we can go to rent more ground or get more ground. We've been fortunate to acquire some farm ground because we have livestock. Some landlords wanted livestock, and that's give us an inroad because we're not built to compete with some of the high rollers on land rent and drive all over the country with machinery. Have several goals, nothing major. Maintain is one, continue, leave things as good as what we came with, and hopefully someone will carry on. With 4 of us, of course, we sent the kids to college, my son and my brother's son. We didn't know when we did that they were going to come home and want to move right to management. We thought maybe that they were coming back as labor, but that kind of worked, but it kind of didn't. But we're glad to have them back. I mean, it's a great thing when your family's coming back. And we all have our little niches, things we like to do more than others. I personally run the sprayer, I run the combine, I run the chopper. Dan, John's son, does all the corn planting. Nathan is basically in charge of the beef herd, cow-calf herd. He does all the buying and selling and genetics of the cow-calf herd. Brother John basically spends most of his day feeding cattle. Enough cattle on enough different places, it takes one man about 6 hours a day just to feed. So he's done it for 50 years and enjoys it. So he's the cattle feeder. He buys and sells a lot, he and Nathan together on the cattle side. Dan was a crop science major in college, so we kind of turned over the chemical and fertilizer program to Dan. And we decided, when I say we, John and I, after my father died, that when the boys were coming into the partnership, we need to give them responsibility. Let them make some decisions. We don't have to agree with them, but, try and give them guidance if there is guidance necessary. And it's worked out well. We each have certain areas where we excel to make the whole thing mesh together and get along together. And we're all within a mile here. The corn process that we go through here right now, we like to start early and put high moisture corn in the silos for cattle feed. That gives you a chance to let the other corn air dry, save drying costs, and it also makes better feed for the cattle if it's a little higher moisture. So we have some blue silos that we put high moisture corn in. When we start the combine, I do the combining. Dan's job is to run on the dryer. So everything runs through the dryer after we get the wet corn bins all full, or wet corn silos. The drying setup is where John lives. We have an air system to move it from bin to bin. And then when we haul it to bins on other farms, we have to haul it with the truck and fill other bins because we don't have enough on-farm storage here. And sell throughout the year. Try and sell some in the fall because we don't have storage enough in a good year, and hopefully we don't. So we sell some. So we dry that as early as we can to get it moved out so we have the storage for later. I have several options to deliver corn. One thing we do like, and we haven't done so much lately because they've changed the program, was to sell a local ethanol plant because we could haul a load of corn up and bring a load of distillers home. So it saves freight. You got a loaded truck going both ways. Corn quality is very important. As a producer, we try and produce the best quality product we can. We know there's going to be buyers. When rotary combines first came out, we bought a New Holland combine. It was the first rotary. And why did we buy it? They were talking about how much better the quality was than the old cylinder machines. I've been on trade mission trips to different places and watched them unload barges. And some of the things that they come out of those barges is not what we put on the barges when it left Illinois. I don't know who you blame, but we have to start with the highest quality product that we can when it leaves the farm. It can't be marginal when it leaves the farm because it's not going to get any better care when it leaves our hands than when the next guy gets it. We far exceeded that right here. Now, countywide, the bluffs, the non-glaciated part of the state, the yields are not near what they are here. Historically, if you look at Farm Week paper, when they come out with this map of Illinois and the yields for each county, Carroll County has been one of the top 10, if not top 5, pretty consistently for the last 10 years. Now, we have hay and we have other things here, so it's not all corn acres. You know, the counties that grow 90% corn have way more production, but we have excellent yields right here and have for years. Exports are very important, and the percentage of Illinois corn that is exported is going to continue to grow. And there's many reasons for that. One is we have the river system, that we can go down through the locks and dams and get corn, barges of corn, to the Gulf, relatively cheap. A lot of our corn right here, we send some to the river, but a lot goes on rail. But if we want to maintain export markets, it's not going to just be rail corn. The rail corn is good. It's another outlet for it. It's very interesting when we talk about a combine. It does a nice job. And timeliness is huge with crops. You know, you want to get them in on time, but you also want to get them out on time. Northern Illinois, you can have early frost, you can have early snow, you can have bad weather. So when the crop is ready, you need to get it out. And same way with soybeans. When we're combining corn, after we fill all the wet structures, it goes to a wet bin. And from the wet bin, it's of course on a time switch or a pressure switch to keep the dryer going, continuous flow dryer. But we use a cleaner between the wet bin and the dryer to take the fines out. So you're not drying the fines and they're not plugging up the floors on the holding bins. So just one more step in trying to get higher quality grain. And it's easier to dry corn if the fines are out. So as it comes out of the wet bin, it runs through a cleaner and then into the dryer. So you get some of the fines out, so the air flows better, easier to dry the corn. And about 95% of all the food grown in the world comes from the soil. We need to maintain soil health to maintain the food supply. And there's going to be more people every year that are going to want to eat. And we're not going to get any more farm ground. So the good productive ground that we have, we better maintain it or the quality of food is going to go way down. The quality food supply depends on quality soil. We do have some of the best soil in the world.